Hey security peeps, we're back with another episode of Diary of Hackers. My name is Joshua Moses and this show is all about bringing cybersecurity professionals closer to you to hear their career journey and expert advice for beginners in this very exciting field. Joining us today is a top-rated information system auditor, board member at Isaka Kenyan chapter, and she is an author and an inspiring coach. Okay, Veronica Rose. She's a very welcoming and amazing person who loves to share her knowledge, especially in the tech domain. We're super glad to have you on the show today, and thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
All right, thank you so much for having me. I'm very much humbled to be here today. My name is Veronica Rose. I'm an information systems auditor. I'm a director. I'm also a podcast host. My channel is called The Experts Corner, hosted by Veronica Rose.
Yeah.
I'm an author, and I'm also the founder of Encrypt Africa. I wear different types of hats, but for now, let's go with that. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you so much, Ma, for coming on the show. Let's start.
Yeah.
How did you get started in cybersecurity?
Good question. So for me, it was not so difficult. I first served as a systems administrator. And then later, I was doing some consultancy work in IT. So during that time, I happened to have pursued Assessor certification, and immediately when I finished my course, I shared the results of the exam with my current boss by then, where I had passed my CISA exam. So he applauded me and he was happy for me. And then later, I was surprised by our human resource manager, who appointed me to be an information security analyst. But prior to that, it didn't just come in as a surprise, because initially I had already collaborated on different IT projects. I used to serve as systems admin as well. I used to do several activities in IT, starting from drafting IT policies, testing the DRP, a lot of things involved. So it didn't come in as a surprise. So when I was appointed to serve as an information security analyst, it wasn't a surprise. Like, I had already shown my skills and knowledge in what and capability on what I was able to do. But technically, the CISA certification introduced me to the cybersecurity industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting to know that, the certification really helped you to, venture and start out in the industry. That's good. But what's the one thing you wish you had known when you began your career so
far? One thing I wish I knew, I wish I knew the difference between school and the workplace environment. These are two different environments. I wish I knew that before, because sometimes it's not even about the good grades you have. So I wish I knew that then.
Wow. So that means the school life is actually different from the work life again.
Absolutely.
Now, that's nice. So based on your vast experience over the couple of years, what advice would you give to beginners that are pursuing a career in information system audit, both from technical and non-technical ground?
Thank you. Audit is my passion. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but audit is my passion. Like, I just love my profession a lot. Yeah. So not one, but the advice I can give to someone who wants to join things, be agile. That is number one. Then number two, if you really want to excel, join professional bodies. Because when you join professional bodies like to people, like-minded people, and you'll be able to learn and expose to so many things that will help you grow in your career. Then also, embrace the being a beginner. Don't join the profession because you have the certification and you think you have it all. Be used to being a beginner so that you learn each and every day. And also, there are some skills that you have to master, like being analytical. If you don't wish to be digging deeper into issues, you may not find a good time in audit. So I would advise you to have some skills like analytical skills. Integrity is key. Independence as an auditor is very key with the nature of the work that we do. And also have the ability to self-educate yourself. Sometimes no one is going to teach you how to do this, but have the passion, have the urge to learn. That's what I can say for now. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. I think being analytic and having integrity as well as belonging to a community really help you to be a good auditor. So, but breaking into cybersecurity is definitely not an easy feat. Everybody will agree to that. So, would you mind to share some 5 habits that are helpful for securing an entry-level security job?
Can we call them habit? I don't know which word we should call them. But what I can say is have the ability to self-educate yourself. Like we mentioned earlier, I wish I knew that the work environment is so different from school. So have the ability to self-educate, have the ability to learn. There are a lot of courses that are offered online, but it's not just a matter of just learning the course and having the certification or the certificate. No. Have the ability to self-educate and practice. Practice. Another habit that I would say, you need to be humble. This looks a bit away from the profession or something, but you need to be humble. If you just have this one skill and you feel you have it all, you're bragging, your watch, you may not really learn. So be humble. And if you acquire a skill, perfect it. That's why I refer back to practicing. Practice. That is when you will feel like, the credibility and the confidence that you can perform a particular task. And also try to be visible. If you have those skills, you have the knowledge and everything, and you're seated behind there, no one will ever know that you have those skills. Polish your LinkedIn profile. Let people know what you do. Talk about what you do. That is how you're going to excel in the industry. That is how you're going to be seen. That is how you'll be out.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Thank you.
True. That's nice. I mean, they say pride go before a fall. So, but do you think I need a college degree or certification to be a professional in cybersecurity?
Let me give my experience. Like I mentioned earlier, for me to join the industry, I first gotten a certification, and the Assessor certification is what introduced me to the industry. But I have 2 points on this. The beauty about the cybersecurity industry, as for now, it is not yet regulated. It is not like you're going to do a degree in let me say you want to become a doctor, you're obliged to have a certain kind of level of credentials, or you want to be a lawyer, you must have gone through the bar and so forth. So the industry is still not yet regulated to that extent. So meaning you can join without a degree. And also, another thing I would like to say that a degree, still right now, it is a nice to have, but it's not a must have. That is still a beauty. So if you can learn on your own, train, self-educate, practice, and also seek out for opportunities, internship opportunities, and so forth, you'll be good to go. Something else I would love to mention about your question again is, as if you get a chance to enter into the industry, probably someone offered you internship or a role itself and you're learning on job, that is good. But don't sit and relax and say, I got this job, I'm good to go. No. Ensure you upgrade. do a certification, go for that degree that you always wanted to have, because later on you'll be perfect in this skill and maybe you would wish to be promoted to another role. But to be promoted to that other role, you need the certification or the degree. So the minute you enter, whether you had a degree or not, try to ensure that you put yourself in the process of getting one. That's my take on that.
Nice. I mean, this is a whole lot of advice, and thank you so much about that. So I think we'll tell our audience are actually listening. So just do your bit, make sure you do your best, and don't relax. Go for it. And I like the fact that you said that degree is not really a must-have, but it's a nice to have something. So I think it will really help in the long run. So thank you so much for that. So let's come to I can see the Bean book behind on the background. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So can you just tell us more about the book and what inspired you to actually write the book?
Oh, thank you. So Being was published in December 2020.
Wow, so recent.
Yes, it's a baby. Yeah, it's still a baby here, but Being has 18 chapters in it, and I call those 18 chapters the recipes for anyone to jumpstart their career.
Wow.
So in some of the chapters you'll find in the book, it's about being seen, being self-aware, being confident, being professional, being you yourself. Yeah. So what inspired me to write this book was I didn't start writing just recently. I started writing in 2016.
Wow.
Yes, I started writing this book in 2016, but I published it in 2020. The lesson that I can tell someone from here is never give up on your dream. If you have a dream, never give up on it. So the history about me writing, I didn't start like yesterday. I started way back in school. We used to have school assemblies, so I could write news bulletins.
Wow.
And then I give to other students to read out during the assembly. So later on, I could participate in drafting of annual reports in my former employer's place. I could volunteer to be on the editorial teams that publish newsletters. I also could volunteer to write CVs or resume for my friends free of charge. I could also volunteer to write blogs for tech companies free of charge. It's because it's something that I love doing. I love writing. And I also, when I learn something new, I always like sharing. So I end up sharing knowledge in that way. So those are some of the things that made me think that if I write content and it is published in different platforms, why not share my real life experiences, both work and other environments, so that someone else can learn from me. So that is how Being was born.
Wow. That's nice. That's really nice. I would really encourage our audience to get a copy of that book, Being. She gave a snip of what is included in that book, being professional, being visible, and all of that. So it's a very good package. So you should get one. The link to the book that you can purchase the book will be dropped on the description below, so just check it out and get one for yourself. So you are a female in the industry, and when we look at the statistics, females are not really much in the field. So and those that are coming up, they are looking up to very few people, and you're one of them. So what advice do you have for these females out there that are trying to get their feet into cybersecurity?
Oh yeah, thank you. I'll tell you this. In my entire journey, I noticed that sometimes I'm always alone on the team, like the only woman on the team. That's wow. Because I remember when I was doing my bachelor's degree in computer science, we were only 3 ladies in the class.
Ooh.
Then during my master's degree, I was the only woman in the class of Yes, Master of Science in Information Systems. I was the only one. And I have served on different teams, committees, and so forth, but you find that you're the only woman there. So that shows you that we are really few in the industry. Yeah, however much we are there, but we are few. So the advice I have for my ladies, I have a lot, but let me just say a few.
Okay.
Yeah, number one is getting used to being a beginner. Sometimes we have that inferiority complex, thinking that we must have too much experience, we must have a lot for us to be into something.
That's true.
But I would advise that someone allow yourself to be a beginner, to learn. Even if you don't know, allow yourself to learn. Also, embrace your passions. If cybersecurity is your passion, get into it. Don't wait. Join sooner. Actually, join sooner. That's the right word. Join sooner. Don't wait. And one thing I also realize among us women is that we get too comfortable. Just getting an entry-level job, you feel like your life belongs there. Like you just want to be in that role until the world comes to an end. No. So I would advise them to get out of the comfort zone. Yes, you're lucky you entered the industry, but how long are you going to be in that role? Actually, when you look at my book, it is themed choosing to be at the top because the bottom is too crowded.
True.
I'm trying to tell someone that when you're lucky to have this role, don't settle. You haven't yet reached anywhere. Get out of that comfort zone and push further. And also, we also have a challenge of imposter syndrome. Like we feel we don't fit, we feel like we don't deserve it. Yet you find that we are just self-sabotaging ourselves. So I'll advise someone, if everyone feels that, by the way, just imagine when you're just being hired for a new role. Most of the time you'll be scared. You're like, how will I do this? How, that feeling, it happens to everyone. But don't let it put you back. You are better than that. And also there is this other thing of overcoming cuteness. You're a woman, you look good, and you have to look good. Exactly. People are going to compliment, hey, you're beautiful, you're this. But don't allow this beauty, don't allow your beauty mislead you that, okay, if I'm beautiful, I don't need to learn this. No. Overcome that cuteness. And even if someone compliments you, you already know you're beautiful, right? Just say thank you, then get back to work,
True.
And then lastly is downplaying yourself. Like you do something wholeheartedly, you've put in the energy, you've collaborated on this IT project, it has become a success, but you even fear owning that success. You don't feel worthy, kind of. So women should get used to that in the industry. And also lastly, let me just relate it to cybersecurity. When hackers are targeting an organization where you are maybe the IT manager, or you're the CISO, or you're the Information Security Officer, whichever title, hackers don't look at the organization and say, oh, it's a lady there, let's not hack them. No, it doesn't happen that way. Hackers don't know gender. They'll hack it if they are to hack it. So put that in mind, that when you're serving it, never feel different. If you're a lady, you're a lady, you're a man, you're a man. Never feel different. Do the job. It's all that matters.
Wow.
Thank you.
Do the job. You have, in fact, the whole of this episode is just for the ladies because you've given them a lot to go with. So for the guys, don't worry. Well, we'll bring another guest that will talk about the guys overcoming handsomeness if you are. And thank you so much for this wonderful piece of advice. So do you have any life hack that you would like to share with the audience? A life hack that will help somebody?
Okay. Number one is never self-doubt yourself. The minute you start doubting yourself, just know you're making, like, you're failing to unveil your inner greatness. So don't self-doubt. Put your mind onto something and focus on doing it. Number 2, an opportunity arises. Go for it. 100%. Go for it. And then another thing is show up. Show up. Like something is happening. Show up. We are lucky in this generation that we have the internet, we have platforms where we can network from, communicate, and so forth. Why not show up? Use these avenues to show up. Let people know you are there. You've been called for maybe an interview, and then you say, oh my goodness, I don't have a suit, I don't have this. Just show up. Show up. There are roles, volunteer roles around in your community, and you feel you can add value to them. What is stopping you from getting out there to do it? Show up. Show up. Yeah. And then in this field, you have to be consistent in learning. Learn as much as you can. Be consistent. Because the skills you had yesterday or last year, you may find that they are irrelevant right now.
True.
So if you're not consistent in learning new things, you are missing out. So learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. Be humble. Be humble. I can't express that much, but be humble and be kind. Thank you.
Wow. This is a really interesting and insightful conversation. I mean, I guess everyone is enjoying the show the way I am, and getting more knowledge as well. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, I'll drop all our link in the description so that you get to interact with her. You can take the conversation further. So if you're just trying to get into cybersecurity and looking for expert advice and how they've journeyed through their career, search no more. Diary of Hackers is right here for you. So we've interviewed more industry experts, and we're gonna interview more. So make sure you subscribe to the channel as well as turning on your notifications so you could get first-hand updates. Also, we have a community of cybersecurity enthusiasts and students across Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya, where we get to learn from each other, exchange our knowledge and stuff. So you can visit diaryofhackers.com to check. If you have feedback on today's episode, tweet us at Diary of Hackers. We would love to hear from you. Join us again next time for more interviews with industry pros. And thanks for listening. Peace out.